This was really cool if I could have shown it to you. So we also put the film on in Second Life. Now this was fun. And I want to show this to you because, well, I'll explain why in a little bit. Let me see if the internet connection is really slow here, if I can get this video going. I apologize for the technical issues. All right, while we're waiting for that. So so we had started right around the middle of the week, the month that we were doing the theatrical run. Somebody came up to me at a party for the film. He said, I see you've been requesting, you've been taking these requests. What if we set up as like a fake postal code, Second Life, and pretend it was in the real world? Do you guys know what Second Life is?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I explained it before. So he said, would you do this? And we said, yeah, sure, whatever. Like, we're scrappy independent filmmakers, we've got nothing to lose. And we had no, corporate distributor breathing down our neck saying you can't put the film on yet another platform that has never been done before. So they got together with, they were working with Sundance Channel. They built, this was really cool, like a virtual theater in Second Life, which is this kind of building that your character could go walk around, and they had there was a hot tub for some reason, and it was pretty neat. So, they built this thing, and you walk in, and let me see if I can find, well, I'll show you this video, it'll kind of give you a sense for it. But, so you walk in, and you can sit down, and you watch the video, and we gave everybody these little, virtual props. It was a little, pad that their character could write on, and because we had sort of a pad theme going, it was kind of part of the visual. There's a lot of note writing in the movie, and we built a building for to represent the brand of 4-Eyed Monsters within Second Life, which was really cool. Which was this giant floating legal pad that was 300 feet up in the air, and you would fly up in the air and land on this notepad, and you can kind of interact with it. It was really neat. So eventually we had the release of the film in Second Life, which was this big event that we had kind of hyped up on all these blogs that were Second Life fan blogs and things like that. And here, let's put this in there. So this is the Second Life version of Aaron and Susan that we made. It was really neat. So we showed it. We eventually had about 15 different locations within Second Life showing the film, all at the same time. And we created a group that everybody could chat together. So even if you're in a different location, you can chat with people in the other location. And but the Sundance Channel was the main location where Aaron and Susan's avatars were set to be for that. But it ended up getting full before Aaron could get there. So we put out a little chat request. We said, okay, is anybody willing to log out and go into one of the other locations so that Aaron, the director of the film, can come and be here in the screening? And nobody's willing to do it. So that was pretty neat. And then, oh, here it's playing. Can we get audio on this?
This is our little foray into Second Life.
after a film is complete, it will be able to instantly premiere to a worldwide audience in every theater that wants it.
And even though it doesn't work that way in real life, Second Life is a place where this is possible today.
You're invited to a virtual screening of our film on Tuesday, January 9th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So that's 3 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And for a complete list, check our site.
The screenings are being put on by the Sundance Channel and Electric Sheep Company, and this will be the first screening of an independent feature film in Second Life.
So here's what you do to come to the screening. Go to foureyedmonsters.com/secondlife to get the link to join Second Life. Once you've joined, you'll be walked through Orientation Island, where you will choose your avatar, and you'll be taught how to walk around in your avatar, how to change your facial structure and clothing. You'll basically be handheld through the process of being born in a Second Life.
Then come back to foureyedmonsters.com/secondlife and get the link to teleport to the Sundance Channel screening room.
Only 50 people can get into the Sundance Channel screening room because that's all the server can handle. But there's going to be over a dozen other venues that will be streaming the film simultaneously. So there should be plenty of room for everybody that wants to see the film. Our avatars will be in the Sundance screening room during the screening. And then after the screening, we'll have a video chat feed in which we do a Q&A.
And if you're not in the Sundance Channel screening room, you can send us an instant message from wherever you are in Second Life by searching people for Animal Foxley, which is Susan's profile, or Aaron Cannonball, which is my profile, and then simply click instant message.
Thanks for watching the Four Eyed Monsters video podcast, and we'll see you in Second Life.
There's a few reasons why I wanted to show that video. I think it really encapsulates a lot of kind of this idea of the story as marketing and the larger story of the film, and kind of where all that comes from. And this is a huge learning experience. So a few things you can see here. Simply, the video shows screen grabs of walking through the whole process of getting into Second Life and things like that. This is something that Aaron and Susan learned early on with their very first podcast. There's a lot of kind of barriers to interaction. There's a lot of work to be done on the part of the user. So this is a really good way to kind of help them along. See that it's easy. Suggest to them that it's an interesting activity that can be done. And it was extremely effective in getting people to subscribe. To request the film. When we asked for the request, there was another video that showed screen grabs of somebody filling out the form. It's really effective, and I highly recommend that everybody do it. So there was that. What else? This was, so Aaron and I put together this video, which is of a genre called machinima. I don't know if you guys have heard of that. It means when people use video games to make movies, you get screen grabs of video games. And we were working with the Second Life community a lot, and seeing a lot of people who were doing machinima. And a lot of what I saw, was not great, really, because it was sort of, people would kind of do, just sort of capture what they were doing and put out a raw screen grab of 8 minutes of flying around this, crazy Matrix thingy. And, it was kind of neat, but it was, it would get boring really fast. And what Aaron edited this together, and I was really impressed because there's a story here. There's these images. First of all, it's not just purely kind of expository. It's it's emotional, and it reflects back to the larger story of distributing the film. Like I said before, not every filmmaker, in fact, most filmmakers are not going to be able to get away with you know, hey, I'm a broke filmmaker, please support me. Nobody really cares. But this is, you know, it's emotional. It gets to the core of like what the characters want, and it involves the audience and lets them participate in it and have a stake in it. So that was also, I think, very, very effective. Finally, the whole Second Life experience, I think I said we had, the estimate was we had about 500 people attending this online. And I learned a lot about, I think, what kind of value you can get out of a theatrical experience from this simulated theatrical experience. I was talking before about how, you know, Aaron couldn't get into the room. A little later on, we had the movie had started, and we were all in there, and somebody was typing, like chatting, and asked Susan a question. Susan was in the room, so she started typing back an answer, and somebody types, and understand this typing is like pretty silent, you know, like you can watch the movie and the typing comes up a little bit, and somebody just types like, "Shh, we're trying to watch this movie," right? And they shushed the director in her own screening, but it was like this virtual screening, and you know. People have described this to us before, like kind of the weird stuff that happens in Second Life. You know, a lot of it's kind of kinky, but you know, and it sounds cool, but I didn't really fully understand how interesting and social and what the potential was until I saw it. There was another thing that happened which was really fun. So I was talking about this giant pad that we created, and I had somebody from the Second Life community volunteer. That was another thing, by the way. Like we had, you know, tons of people. You saw a couple other people in the background there. We had a lot of people from the Second Life community helping us with this, which, you know, again would fall under crowdsourcing, and it was really great because it gave them a stake in the movie, and it, you know, gets them promoting it, which was really successful. So, so we built this big platform. Right? It was floating up in the air. It was really neat. And what it was, I don't, it's not there anymore, so I can't really show it to you, but it was, it looked like this, like a pad with like a screen, like a video window, just like this, drawn, like pencil drawn on the pad. And you could click on the screen, and it would turn into an actual video player on the surface. And you would sort of move your head around, and it would kind of, you know, play in 3D, like on this pad. And I did that because I wanted to kind of get away from the idea of just simulating a theater in virtual space, which is what you saw the Sundance Channel Screening Room did, which was fine, and it was, you know, worked great, and that fits their brand. But, you know, I realized, like, this is a 3D kind of simulated space where anything can happen, you know, so why does it need to be on the wall? Let's put it on the floor. And what you would do, you would put these little seats around it, and you would click on the seat, your character would sit down, and your camera would kind of like fly up and look down on it. So that on your screen, the movie looked just like that perfectly, and you would see these people sitting around the screen to kind of emphasize the social aspect of it. So that was really cool. But I kind of was building this thing, and I foresaw a little problem, which was what happens if somebody decides to walk across the screen because it's on the floor. So what I did was I built this big, using the Second Life construction tools, I built this big box, right? And I made it invisible. And I made it so that you could walk through it, which, you know, raises all kinds of philosophical questions about whether or not it actually exists. But you know, that's for another day. Go watch The Matrix, you'll get it. So I built this big thing, and I wrote some programs to like make it kind of so that I could tell it what to do. So sure enough, we're watching the movie. You know, the movie starts, and it's really having fun. It's really cool. And some character, some avatar guy, like comes in and like flies and floats right smack in the middle of it, right? And he's not even just standing on it. He's figured out how to like kind of float. He's figured out where the camera is that all people are looking at, so he floats up just so like his whole body is completely obscuring the screen. And people start saying, like, hey man, like get out of the way, I can't see it. There's like 30 people there, or 50 people who can't watch the movie because this schmuck is in front of it. So I typed this like secret command that I wrote that turns the box, the invisible box, solid. But that didn't work because he was then trapped inside of it. So what I figured I had to do is I have to get him out of the box, then turn it solid. So I turn the box like, you know, not solid anymore. I back up, I fly my avatar back up about 50 feet, and I just fly as fast as I can and ram him out of the way. And he shoots like another 100 feet, like into space. I get out of the box myself, turn around, type the command, the box turns solid, but he can't see it. So he starts flying back and smacks his head right on the side of his glass box, which of course, thank you Second Life, has little stars spinning around his head now. And he just keeps like kind of smacking that like a bird trying to get through a window, and he can't do it. So that was really, really educational. It started to kind of get me to see like the potential of, you know, social experiences and the value of like being there in that place and time when an event is happening. You know, that was really, really neat to be there. And, you know, I think we can carry that over to real theatrical experiences, which we were always trying to do. We were always having parties and cool things and stuff like that we kind of like took from this experience and learned that to just kind of find weird ways to like make it a memorable experience, something that's never going to happen again.